Hi everyone. So today I thought I would start with an archetype card just to see how we can pull on our inner strength and intuition to help us overcome certain obstacles and certain challenges. I'd also like to do a 9 card portrait spread with tarot and the big picture oracle cards, just to see if we can find out some of the energies that we cannot see. So we can maybe get an idea of what might be coming that we're not really expecting. So we're starting with the prayer. And the prayer archetype is about asking for help and receiving help. And I think this is what I meant, that they're needing to pull on our intuitive strengths, our intuitive messages that come in, the way that we communicate with our angels and our ancestors, the way we communicate with God and the universe. So I do think that this is going to be an important archetype to work with. But let's set those cards aside. I'd like to get into tarot and then the big picture oracle to see if we can figure out some of the energies that we're working with and definitely what we don't see. So we're starting with the Magician. So I do think that you are very aware of how powerful your manifestations are right now and your manifestation abilities right now. I do think that you are aware of that, and it might be because you are communicating through prayer with your angels and your spirit guides. So then we have the Page of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups, the Chariot, Justice, 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, 8 of Swords, King of Cups. Underneath everything, we have the Page of Cups. So when the Page of Cups is hiding underneath the deck, this is mostly about your inner child. And this is your inner child, I think, is here to remind you to think back to when you were a child. We're getting this theme a lot lately about really needing to reconnect on some level to our inner child, because when we were children, we were never just one thing. We didn't say, oh, I'm a doctor, or I'm a lawyer, or I'm an accountant, or whatever. Make it make sense for you. We were a million things when we were a child. Our imagination would allow us to be all of those things. And I think that's what this Page of Cups underneath the deck is reminding us, that we are so many things. We don't have to be defined by the limits of that society has dictated for us. So that's what I'm getting right away. Is this crooked? Right in the center of this spread is the Justice card. So when I see the Justice card, especially in such a prominent position in the reading, this is really about the universe correcting itself. So it tells me that there was at some point an injustice that was done in your life, but now the karmic scales are balancing out. This is a card of everyone getting what they deserve. No matter what it is in that situation, good or bad, everyone gets what they deserve. The Justice card is very fair, and the universe is very fair, and the universe sees all and understands what everyone deserves. So whether people like that outcome or not, it does not mean that it wasn't just and it wasn't fair, because it was, it is. And that's your current energy right now. So I do get this sense that, especially because I see you headed towards the 10 of Pentacles, there's a good sense here that you're getting some kind of good karma from this, that your justice that's coming in is a reward for something that you have already done. In the past, I'm seeing the Chariot. And so whatever work you were doing, whatever happened, even though you felt like there were great injustices being done around you, so whether this was people around you or a job that you're in or a situation, a living situation, make it make sense for you. But whatever you're moving towards, you put all of your heart and soul into something. And so this is why the universe wants to pay you for your hard work and reward you for your hard work, which is often what the universe does, especially if you're following your true north, which it looks like you are because you're headed towards this 10 of Pentacles. So there's a major transformation that has occurred with you, that the work that you have been doing, whatever project you're working on or whatever relationship you're working on, that you've really poured your entire being into, that you also put a lot of discipline into, because with the Chariot, that automatically means that you have put much discipline into something. You have to drive the Chariot. You have to have that drive and that willpower and that stamina in order to maintain that Chariot moving forward towards your true north. So that's why the universe is now stepping in, and it looks like you're going to be rewarded with these 10 pentacles, which is a really an abundant amount of money is what that is. Sometimes it's even considered easy money, but this was a divine intervention so that you could smack right into whatever this abundance is for you, whatever this abundance mindset is for you. You're about to step right into it. So I think that a lot of your forward movement and you moving towards this goal, some of it at one point might have been fear-based. So for example, if you decided you wanted to start a new business, for example, it may have been motivated by your fear of not having enough money to provide for your family, or your fear of having to go to your 9-to-5 job every single day and not wanting to do that anymore. So I do feel that you had this healthy sense of fear, but you allowed that fear to kind of stay in the background so that you could use it to motivate you to really push this forward. And I think that the universe is really supporting that and seeing that you had this fear, but it didn't stop you. It didn't keep you stuck. I'm seeing the 8 of Swords, and the 8 of Swords is generally an energy where one feels stuck because of their fears. But you used a very healthy amount of that fear to just motivate you. And I think that's what was driving your Chariot, was this healthy sense of fear. And now again, like I said, you're being rewarded for it. There's a person here showing up as a Page of Pentacles, and I'm under the impression that this person is really weighing on you. So how I'm reading this so far is that this person could actually be in your way. So if you're driving down the street with your Chariot, pushing through your new business, for example, this would be a person who's standing right in the middle of the road. This is what I mean metaphorically, that there's someone who's really weighing on you, who might not have your best interests at heart. It might not be intentional. They might think they're doing you a favor by getting in your way. You don't really always know the motivation of other people. But what I see is that this person is really slowing you down. And so it looks like in order for this thing to really take off and get your 10 of Pentacles, which is your potential, it is your near future, you're heading straight towards it. You're driving your Chariot straight towards those 10 Pentacles. But as we said, this person is standing in between you and that goal. So in order for you to really complete this, and for your business to take off and your profits to start coming in, and your life's purpose and mission, it looks like here too, with Justice coming in here, there is some energy here that probably needs to be released, or at least set a clear sacred boundary with, that you are in my way, I'm busy, and unless you can get out of my way and work with me and sit next to me in this Chariot and we drive forward, then I'm going to really need to set up some kind of a boundary here. So, but as we said with this Magician, it does feel like you know how strong your manifesting skills are right now. And I think that alone is what's going to give you the power to set this sacred boundary that we're talking about. To be assertive, get out of my way, you're in my way, and to put yourself first. You probably just like everyone, mostly in our society, have been taught at some point or another in our lives that putting ourselves first is selfish. When we're doing our spiritual work, that couldn't be further from the truth. We must put ourselves first so that we can go back and help everyone else. But only when you're completing your life's mission can you help everyone else. And if someone's standing in your way of doing that, then you must put yourself first. I hope that this makes sense. But there is a need here for this person to respect and honor your boundaries and for you to do the same. But with the magician here, I feel like you already know that. You know how to set boundaries and you know to respect and honor them, and you expect everyone else to respect and honor your boundaries. There's a person showing up here. This looks like a different person. This is a King of Cups. So I think this is a different person than this Page of Pentacles because they're showing up wildly different from each other. But this is someone that you already know, someone that you already see in your energy. This is someone who probably holds a lot of love for you, holds a lot of space for you, someone who's very interested in you and wants to be in your life somehow. It may be why this person is standing in your way, because they realize that once you go along your life's mission, you're going to leave them behind because they're showing up very small as a page. Pages can be very young energies. They can be inexperienced. They can just not have the wisdom that a king has. And so they might already suspect that about themselves, that they know that once you continue on your life's mission and your true north and you start getting your universe blessings, that you're going to leave them behind for someone who has the wisdom, who has the experience, who already understands how to hold space for you in some kind of a relationship. So I am getting the sense that we are talking about your North Node, but these other layers here are talking about people in your life who want to either work against or with you, and because they all have their own motivations for doing that. So I think what you don't know with this Five of Cups is if there's someone who's making you feel perhaps emotionally manipulated, or that somehow you would be letting them down if you asked them to respect your boundaries, or whatever it is, make it make sense for you. But I think what you don't know is that this is not your responsibility. Other people's emotions are not your responsibility. So I am not saying to purposefully hurt other people. That is not what I mean by that. You are responsible for your actions and the ways that you treat other people. You are responsible for that. But if someone is asking you to compromise one of your boundaries, one of your limits, and say, no, I'm not going to get out of the way, I'm not going to get out of your path, and they make you feel some type of way, whether that's a guilty type of energy, whether they're crying and saying, but I need you, those types of emotional manipulations, I think what you don't know is that that is not your responsibility. You are free to break up with people. You are free to do that as long as you do that in a nice and respectful way and you're setting clear boundaries and making it very clear. You are allowed to break up with people. Yes, some people could get hurt in those situations, but that's not your responsibility. And so I think here, to answer our original question of what you don't see, is the Seven of Wands. That you are protected, especially if you are on your spiritual North Node, and especially if you're asking your angels. Remember, we drew the prayer archetype. So this is a reminder for you to be in constant communication with your angels, with your guides, with God, with Source, whoever you communicate with. It's really important to remember that they are protecting you right now, and that they can almost make you, with this magician too, they can put you in a sacred bubble. They can help you protect your boundaries. They can make it so that you're almost invisible or untouchable by people who may be wanting to irritate your energy, get in your energy, upset your flow, these types of things, that you are very much protected. And that is what you don't see. You don't see that you have a whole spirit realm around you. There's a whole astral realm around you that really wants to help guide you and protect you from the energies that are against you. But the one thing that you have to do first is set up your boundaries and say, this is where I draw the line. These are my limits. Please move out of my way so I can continue my forward movement. So let's do one layer. I'm going to do another 9-card portrait spread with the big picture oracles. So we're starting with the handshake. So then we have the garden, the bear, the metal, the mountain, the scythe, the dog, the letter, and the cross. Underneath everything is the eye, and the eye is about being seen. And I feel like this is confirming that with this prayer card that your angels see you. God sees you, source sees you, the universe sees you. Whatever it is for you, you are being seen, which is why the Justice card wanted to show up. Because whatever injustices are happening in your life, or whatever manipulations or whatever delays are happening that are deliberately being put in place by other people, the universe sees it. And that's why the eye is here telling you that. The eye is also reminding me to keep your eye on your inner child. What were those things you loved to do as a child? Because that is a clear indication, usually, of what your true north is, what you're supposed to be doing. But right in the center of this spread, we have the mountain. And the mountain is about obstacles. And that's what we were just saying, that it feels like there is a person who is standing right in the middle of the road and they're showing up as a mountain. That there is an obstacle that you have to overcome here, and it's going to be in the sense of boundaries. This metal card was your motivation. You were recognized for something in your recent past. So to use the example of perhaps you're working on a project or you're starting a business, let's just use that example, but make it make sense for you. But you were recognized for some kind of skill or talent that you have, which is why you were motivated to use that to say, okay, and I also have this fear of not being able to provide for my family, as we said, with the 8 of Swords, that combining those two things, you know you have a certain skill and you needed the extra money, let's say. Again, these are random examples, but you use that to move yourself forward. But now in our current energy, we're in this mountain energy where someone's in our way, which we've already said. The Scythe card is here, which can also represent harvest, which is coming in with the 10 of Pentacles. So reaffirming that you're about to really reap a lot of benefits because of what you sowed in the past. This is reaping what you sow in the form of money, in the form of pentacles. But the Scythe card can also talk about powerful breakups or cutting people or things off. The Scythe is about removing things that no longer work in the energy. And coming in with this Mountain card, it does make me think that there is a need for you to remove this obstacle in the form of boundaries. Please get out of my way because I'm busy moving forward. So the letter is here. There's some form of communication that must happen here. I think that this could be communication with your angels and your guides because of prayer. I do think that it's very important for you at this time to really ask your angels, as we keep saying, to really be in constant communication with them. But what I'm also getting from this is it would really help to support this situation if you communicated with the person that you think is slowing you down, if you communicated with the person who you think is delaying you or purposefully trying to get you to go backwards instead of forwards. So I do think that a clear communication would really help in this situation. And anytime we're setting new boundaries, it communication is the only way to make sure that those are clear. To say, you need to get out of my way is a very clear communication for someone to understand what your limits are and what you expect from them. But again, especially with this garden card coming in here. So this was showing up as one person, the Page of Pentacles, but now we have the garden card. So in this case, it looks as though it could be more than one person who is slowing you down, more than one person who may be delaying you or making you feel not good enough, or that you can't do this, or whatever your new project is, or whatever your new business idea is. They may be looking at you side-eyed and saying, really? You think you're going to be able to do that? That is exactly what we're talking about. They're showing up now as more than one person. This is showing up as a group of people who might not really be believing in what it is you're trying to accomplish here. So again, boundaries need to be set. This is my life. This is my decision. And continue to ask for guidance. Ask for that intuitive guidance, that intuitive strength that you need in order to keep pursuing your goals. With the Magician, we got the handshake. So this is in the position of what you know. We already said that you know that you are an extremely good manifester. It might be that you're manifesting in someone into your life, some kind of a meeting, some kind of a collaboration, someone who really understands your purpose, someone maybe who already does the work that you're trying to start, someone who already has done these projects that you're trying to do, someone with a very similar energy as you. You're really manifesting that in so that it will help to drown out the noise of the haters or the people who are thinking they don't understand what you're doing, so why are you doing it? So I do think that you sense in some way that you're manifesting in the right people, that you're manifesting in your soul tribe somehow, and somehow you know that. And as we said, there is someone here in your energy showing up as the King of Cups who it looks like they really understand that spiritual side, or whatever that is for you, that business part of you that's on your North Node. They really hold space for that. They understand that. And you have manifested this person in. And with the cross coming in here, this is a clear sign that this is your destiny, that this is something that is meant for you, something that is meant to happen for you. And there was a divine intervention with this cross here, that this is definitely something that's going to support you. And it's being put in your path. Once you remove the obstacle, once you remove the mountain in your path, you'll really be able to open this up and find whoever this is that's going to collaborate with you or support you. So the Five of Cups with the bear, this is a very powerful card. The bear makes anything it's paired with much more powerful. And that's with the Five of Cups. And we're talking about these emotional manipulations. So I think this is saying is what you don't know, and what you should be very aware of, is that these emotional manipulations could come in from this group of people that we're talking about, that they might say to you, please don't do it. You're hurting me. Why would you do this? Why would you ask me to get out of your way? This is really hurting me. And so to really be aware when you hear those types of reactions from people, that they're suffering because of something you are doing that is not hurting them directly or even indirectly. It's not meant to hurt them. It has nothing to do with them. If you start getting those types of messages that you are somehow hurting these people, to really be aware of those red flags and to really understand that, and that this message is really coming across very strongly, suggesting that to pay attention to those types of energies, those types of messages. And then finally, with this Seven of Wands, we were saying that you are very spiritually protected, and what showed up is the dog. So to me, this is a very clear sign that this is an angel or a spirit guide, because the dog is a very loyal friend, someone who is always going to be on your side, no matter what the circumstances. No matter if you are doing this project or not doing this project, this dog is going to be right next to you in your chariot. The dog's going to jump into the passenger seat every time you start up that chariot, that car, and they're going to move forward with you no matter what. Steadfast, loyal. this person is right next to you with this Seven of Wands, which is generally a card of spiritual protection. So this is telling me that this is a spirit guide who's with you, guiding you and protecting you, and will always be in that passenger seat with you as you move forward down your road, down your mission. So, wow. So that is your reading of what you don't see. You don't see that your spirit guides are right here with you in the passenger seat. So make sure you're talking to them, be in constant communication, pray to them, meditate, however you communicate with them, because they are here and they want to help you remove these obstacles, these people that are hating on whatever it is you're trying to do. And eventually you're going to manifest in your destiny and the people here who really want to be with you and hold space for you and for what you're trying to accomplish here. So please let me know how this was resonant for you, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.